What's up, guys? Privateinvestigatorruss here. Thank you for stopping by the Privateinvestigatorruss YouTube channel. I will also be uploading this on X as well, and links for all the contact information and social media will be in the link in the description below. Also, if you choose to avail of my services to vet a potential wife, mother of your children, or long-term partner, please contact me. I would rather help you sort the details out on the front end before you commit yourself legally and financially, then help you try to pick up the pieces and deconstruct everything on the back end. It's much, much easier on the front end. At least this way, you have the ability to make an informed decision, which is all we can ever ask for. So, story time. This one is adult virgin goes wrong. Okay, so what happened? All right. We have a friend. This guy was completely hopeless when it came to women, no matter what we did. He was incredibly socially awkward. Very successful guy, made a ton of money. Super, super smart guy, super successful, very focused on his work, but just one of those guys that just could not achieve intimacy with a woman, no matter what. So he meets a woman, he starts going out with her, and they're just doing the shagging thing and going out and everything else. And so we all know this woman, and so we're like, oh, finally he broke the seal. We all know her. Let's just say we know her in a biblical way. We know her. We all have carnal knowledge of this woman. When I say we all, I mean everybody. She was very, very giving. Let's just say very generous with her goodies, right? So initially we just think, okay, he's just this is kind of a practice woman, and he's just doing his thing because nobody would really ever take her seriously as far as relationships go. So days turn into weeks, weeks turn to months, and we're like, wait a second. Then she's moved in with him, and we're like, oh, whoa. So we know we need to launch an intervention. So we invite him out one day, and like most interventions, like all interventions, it was an ambush. And so we didn't tell him ahead of time what we were going to do, and we met him at a restaurant, sports bar. And we said, look, what are your intentions with this girl? Well, I was thinking about popping the question, and he's talking about marrying her. We're like, no, man, you can't do it, dude. And he said, look, I've heard all the rumors about her. I know they're not true. Where have we heard this before? So she convinced this guy that she had only been with 3 or 4 guys. I know 3 or 4 guys she's been with in one night. And so this is not, with all due respect to women who think that your body count doesn't matter. It does indeed actually matter. It matters to men. It may not matter to you, but it does matter to men. And no, that's not a sign of insecurity. That's a sign of, you just don't want what everybody else has had. So, not saying women are going to be virgins when you meet them, because, that's just not really a realistic goal. But no one wants a woman, or not for long term, that everyone has been with. So she convinced him that none of these things happen. And we all talked to him. We're like, look, we all have carnal knowledge with her. And that's just this group. And it was a group of about 7 guys. So just the 7 guys have been with this same woman, plus many, many, many others. If I had to estimate, she's probably in the triple digits, easy. So what happened next? Well, he didn't listen to us. He did not heed our advice. He did indeed marry this woman. Why? And I've seen it before when I was in the military. There was a guy who, again, adult virgin, and being an adult virgin is dangerous if you're a guy. So this guy in the military, we're in the Middle East. This is right after the festivities of Desert Storm, Desert Shield, but it was before the festivities of Southern Africa. So he meets a woman. They start dating. He moves her in. He has an apartment over in the Middle East. In a small country of Bahrain. Shout out to everybody in Bahrain. Shout out to Radio Bahrain. I used to have a Radio Bahrain t-shirt, but somebody stole it. All right, so she's letting him do all the stuff that he's seen in videos that he's watched, I'm assuming. And so she goes away back to her home country. I won't say which country because it doesn't matter. And she comes back. So she's gone for 4 months, but she comes back like 3 months pregnant. And we're like, okay, well, she cheated. He can't be this dumb. He was this dumb. So never underestimate the power of guys, who've never had any. Now all of a sudden they're getting some, and so they don't want to lose that or mess it up. So they're willing to accept or believe anything, and they just suspend all of their brain cells and all of their ability to, use logic and reason. So he marries her. We go to the wedding, and shockingly, she wore a white dress, which I'm surprised there wasn't a force field in the church keeping this woman out. Like, she has done some evil things to a lot of guys, right? All right, so they're married less than a month when he sends me a text message. He knows I'm a private investigator. He sends me a text message. He did not have me vet her ahead of time. He did not have me do anything. I mean, we didn't have to vet her. We knew what she was about. She had the whole 9 yards, the OnlyFans, not just, just everything, so it wasn't a secret. She wasn't really trying to keep it a secret. She just told him that wasn't her thing, and she was misunderstood. Okay. So he gives me a text. I answer back, and I look at it. He goes, "Hey, can I talk to you?" Okay, sure. Call me. He calls me up and he goes, "Look, man, I need your help." Okay, what's the deal? He goes, "I think she's cheating on me." And I, and maybe I'm just being mean. Well, and I didn't mean to. I just started laughing. I said, "Of course she's cheating on you." I said, "Of course she's cheating on you." I mean, like, dude, we told you about her. He said, "Well, he goes, I think she is. I'm not sure, but I want to make sure." Okay. So I sent up the bat signal, the signal flare, and me and all the rest of the guys are like, okay, what can we do to help this dude? So, long story short, yes, she was cheating. She wasn't just cheating with one dude. She was cheating with a lot of the dudes she messed with before. At least she didn't mess with any of us. She actually did try to reach out to one of us, one of his friends. The guy, unfortunately, he ignored her text, and that's one of those things he should have alerted the rest of us and alerted our friend. "Hey, look, your wife tried to reach out to me. You need to watch out." The bro code, besides bros before hoes, that's the number one thing, man. Don't put chicks ahead of the bros. Bros got to go first, right? Because they're going to put their friends ahead of you. Next, if one of your pals' girlfriends or wives tries to reach out to you, don't entertain that texting back and forth. They shouldn't have your phone number anyway. They shouldn't be able to text you back and forth anyway. They shouldn't be able to slide into your DMs on Instagram or on X. Be an honorable bro. Have honor when it comes to your bros. Same thing goes with married women. Stay away from them. That's a good way to get yourself deleted, and nobody wants to get deleted. Also, too, is just going to generate some bad karma. So, we were able to capture some very graphic and detailed video of her messing around and doing different things. Excuse me, doing different things. And so, we didn't even show him the video. We were like, "Look, man, you need to find a way out of this." And so, thankfully he hadn't purchased a house yet. She thought about putting up a fight, but he wound up just paying her off and said, "Look, we can fight forever, or I can give you X amount of dollars. You can agree to the divorce. We don't have any kids. We can go our separate ways." And so they wind up settling things like that. So, number one, have a good friend group that's going to look out for you. Number two, trust your friend group. If your friend group comes to you, especially your private eye friend, and says, "Look, man, you don't need to do this. You need to walk away from this. Maybe you should listen." I can't tell you how many guys I've saved from trouble, but also too, there's been a bunch of guys that just didn't listen, and then they had to go back and say, "Hey, look, maybe I should have listened to you because X is happening or this happening," and then I have to try to help them piece together everything on the back end, and it's much, much more difficult. It's much more expensive on the back end. Invest in your future by vetting your future spouse or the mother of your children or long-term partner before you let a woman move in. God forbid you move in with her. Don't do that. That's a kiss of death. Yeah, like you will regret it if you do that. But if you're going to do one of those things, I don't suggest you do. I don't suggest you get married. I think marriage right now, the rules are so stacked against men specifically. Even though there's supposed to be equal protection under the law, there is no equal protection under the law when it comes to the family courts. As you can, I can attest to, and any other man who's been divorced or had to go through some sort of custody battle can attest to. Even when law enforcement shows up, they're going to be on the woman's side almost always and automatically. So if you play a game and the game is set up for you to lose, why are you playing that game? But some people will tell you, oh, that's the way to go. Again, these are people that are playing by the old rules. We have to start playing by the new rules. The new rules: don't get married. Number 2, don't move in with anybody. Number 3, don't let them move in with you. And that's a good way to keep yourself safe. As far as having children, we'll talk about that later on. There are ways to have kids without getting married. I know several really wealthy guys who've had children with women that don't live with them. They've never married them. Now, do they pay child support? Yeah, and that's fair. If it's your child and she's got custody, pay your child support. But they're not paying alimony, and she's not entitled to half his stuff. All right. So anyway, next story is going to be a doozy, kind of a heart-wrenching story. But it's when crazy chicks go wrong. Anyway, it's your boy Private Eye Russ. Listen to your friend group. Don't marry and don't wife up women that have been passed around a whole bunch, man. It's my experience, and my humble experience. I'm not a mental health professional, but in my experience, these women lack the ability to be loyal. They can't be loyal. I really honestly believe they can't help themselves. So just be careful and protect yourselves. Anyway, everything's linked in the description. Please like, subscribe, share the video, get the word out. Let's try to grow the channel. Looking for more followers on X. Please follow me on X. Please subscribe on YouTube. Thank you very much.